So today we're going to start with priority queues, and only one class is enough for priority queue. So first of all, we are going to see the basic introduction of priority queue, and then we'll discuss these three questions. All these three questions are from Lead Code itself. Fine. So let's see first what a priority queue is. So a priority queue is used when objects are to be processed on the basis of some priority. And what is this priority? This priority can be anything. The processing can be done on any priority basis, whether it is on the basis of minimum priority or maximum priority. It can be anything. We'll discuss that in a later point of time. Now, a queue, a normal queue that we have studied so far, it is based on FIFO principle. That is first in, first out principle. So let's assume that this is a queue, and let's say the elements over here are like this: 12, 5, 7. So how are the elements removed? The element that was first inserted, that is this 90 was inserted first, so it will be removed first as well. After that 87 will be removed, after that 12 will be removed, after that 5, and then 7. So in a normal queue, what we have is, it is based on first in, first out principle. That is the priority given to the element. Priority is basically given to the element which was inserted first into the queue. Fine. And similarly, in a priority queue, this was about normal queue, and in a priority queue, this since here it was first in, first out, here the priority can be on the basis of any factor. It can be minimum element, it can be maximum, it can be any other thing as well. Fine. Let's discuss this. So let's say in the priority queue, let's say this is my priority queue, and I'm having some elements here. Let's say, let's take these elements itself: 90, 87, 12, 5, and 7. And let's say that I have set my basis, this factor, I have set this factor to the minimum. So what will happen is, from the priority queue, the first element that will be removed will be the minimum of all these elements. Of all about all these elements, the minimum is 5. So 5 will be removed first. Then after removing 5, 7 is the minimum, so 7 will be removed next. After that, 12 is the next minimum, so 12 will be removed next, and so on and so forth. So this is priority queue. Let's discuss some important points about priority queue. The first thing is that priority queue does not permit null, meaning that we cannot insert null into the priority queue. Fine. Now, time taken for adding an element and removal of the element from the peak is order of log n. So addition also takes order of log n, and removal of an element from the priority queue also takes log n time. Let's now see the things that we were saying so far, that minimum priority queue, what is a minimum priority queue, and what is a max priority queue. So first of all, let's discuss minimum priority queue. So how can we create that? We can create that in the same way like we have created hash maps and all that. Hash set. We have created hash set in a similar way. So priority queue integer, PQ is the name of the priority queue, and new priority queue. So here, when we are not writing anything inside these brackets, it means that it is a minimum priority queue. It's a min priority queue. Basically, here the priority will be given to the smallest element in the priority queue container. Fine. And if we are writing collections.reverse order in these brackets, inside these brackets, then it is a max priority queue. And in a max priority queue, the priority is given to the largest element in the priority queue container. Priority queue container means this one that we have just discussed. This is a priority queue container, and inside the container, there are these elements present. Fine. Now let's discuss some functions of priority queue. Let's discuss the functions of priority queue, and then we'll jump on to questions. So in priority queue, if we want to add elements, then we write, if PQ is, let's say, the name of the priority queue, so PQ dot add, let's say 10. If I write this, let's say this is my priority queue, and this is 10 will be inserted. Again, PQ dot add 20, so 20 will be inserted. PQ dot add 35, 35 will be inserted. Now let's say that I have created a min priority queue. Fine. So I have created the priority queue in this particular way. And after that, if I write PQ dot remove, what do you think will be removed? Kya remove hona chahiye? The minimum element out of these. So 10 will be removed. After this, let's say priority queue dot peak. अब क्या आना चाहिए मेरे पास peak में? 20. बिल्कुल perfect. फाइन. सो ये दो तीन फंक्शन है. एक ऐड होता है, एक रिमूव होता है, एक प्रायोरिटी की पीक होता है, एंड one more is priority pq dot size, which is basically which will basically give the size of the priority queue. What will be the size in this case? 2 exactly. So these are the four functions: add, remove, peak, and size, which are there in a priority queue.